Hi friends, welcome back to my channel and to our imaginary journey through the pumpkin patch. Today, I'm going to show you some fun, fast, festive, and frugal ways to decorate for fall. I can assure you that each project is easy to do, uses mostly Dollar Tree items, and can be made for just a few dollars a piece. These are pictures of pumpkin-inspired crafts that I've created. I'm excited to show you how to bring some of that autumn glory into your homes in very fun ways. So sit back, relax, and we'll dive into our first project, which uses an 8x10 Dollar Tree frame, as well as the October picture from the 2025 Farmers Market Dollar Tree calendar. We're also going to use some buffalo check ribbon to coordinate. The first step is just to disassemble your frame. The little clips on the back make it very easy to remove all of the contents. Then, because the picture on the calendar page is larger than the frame, we're going to go ahead and use that cardboard insert as our template, and we'll outline the portion of the design that we want to include. For this, we're going to use a horizontal orientation to capture the best part of the picture. So because I want that pumpkin patch wording to be visible, I'm going to go ahead and use the lower portion of the image. So after outlining the template, you can see I'm just going to cut out the image top and remove it from the bottom, and then we'll also need to cut some of the side borders to make it fit. It's better to cut just a little bit at a time because you can always go back and trim some more until you find that perfect fit. The next step is to clean the glass, and I went ahead and used a microfiber cloth just to polish it up and remove any dust or smudges. After the glass is clean, simply reinsert it, and then you see I'm adding in that little border that was there because I want to cover up that top portion of the writing that was cut off, and that border will take care of concealing that. And now I'm just reassembling all the parts and pieces, including these little strips of foam, and then we'll add our back easel back to it, and you'll see it looks quite charming in this black frame. But we're not done yet. We're going to adorn it in some festive ways by using some little pumpkins that I purchased in a package from the Dollar General. In order to get them to lay flat, I trim them by just cutting them in half, and a kitchen knife works really well to do that. Just be careful you don't cut yourself. Because they're made of foam, they cut pretty easily on this cutting mat using that serrated knife. So now you see how easily they will lay flush against the surface of your frame or glass. And we're going to have some fun adding these pumpkins and giving this a three-dimensional effect. So now that we have all of them cut in half, I'm going to add some to bring that dimensionality to the surface of the picture. Here I'm going to add them in various places around the truck. And before I do that, though, I want to use some festive buffalo check ribbon to decorate with a bow the bottom corner of the picture. The wired ribbon makes it so easy to fashion a simple bow. I fold it in on itself and then just pinch it in the middle, and then I cut that off, and then I cut an extra piece just to wrap around and hold together that bow. Here you see I'm just cutting that extra section of ribbon, and then I'm just going to wrap it around the middle and twist it off. It creates two small tails, and we're going to just add that then using some hot glue to the lower left corner of the frame. Use a nice little pool of hot glue there, and then just press that ribbon right against it. We're going to then just adjust it. The wired edge makes it so easy to fashion your bow. Before we do that, though, we're going to add one more embellishment. we're going to add one of those flat pumpkins right to the center of the bow. And doesn't that just look so charming? The theme is carried right to the outer edge of the frame. I'm also adding some more of the flat pumpkins using hot glue to create some more dimensionality. And I'm going to add one right to the top of the stack there on top of the truck. And I'm also adding, as you see, one to that lower right corner of the truck and one just on the outer edge of the front of the truck, actually carrying it forward off to the side. And there you have it, just a few dollars, and you have a darling, I think really charming piece of fall decor that can be part of a lovely vignette or stand alone. Here I just have it as part of a vignette on my kitchen counter. And you see in the front there, I made a pumpkin using some of the tumbling tower blocks from Dollar Tree. We'll do that project shortly. But first, I want to show you how to also use those little pumpkins to fill a pedestal for a lovely decorative plate. You'll need for this project some of the fabric from the Crafter's Square at Dollar Tree. They sell those rolls. You'll also want one of the $1.25 clear glass plates. You'll want also to use Mod Podge. You can buy a small bottle at Dollar Tree, or as you see, I have here the industrial size that I bought at Michael's with a coupon. Here I'm using one of the Dollar Tree sponge brushes to apply to the back side of the plate a nice even coating of the Mod Podge. After I get it nicely coated, I'm going to take my choice of fabric and lay it upside down on the back surface. After you lay it in position, just use your hands and fingertips to smooth it out, going from the inside outward over the rim to smooth out any wrinkles or air bubbles. Then, using some fabric scissors, I'm just cutting off the excess fabric that's hanging over the outer edge. At this point, you don't need to worry about cutting it too closely. We'll do that after we apply a second coat of Mod Podge. Using that same sponge brush and Mod Podge, just work from the inside outward over the entire back surface. That will seal in your project and give your fabric more stiffness. After giving it a nice thorough coat, just allow it to dry for several hours. In the meantime, I'm showing you a bag of pumpkin filler that I purchased from Dollar General for $1. And I'm using it to fill this little fishbowl shaped bowl from the Dollar Tree. We're going to use that as our decorative pedestal under our plate. You see how beautifully it dried. The image is so clear. And now that it's thoroughly dry on the back, we can go ahead and carefully cut that excess fabric closely around the border. You can see how easy it is to take your scissors and just go closely around that outer rim. And then you have a nice clean edge and a beautiful plate that cost all of $2.50. And now our sweet little pedestal bowl is ready to be hot glued to the bottom of the plate. I'm using the hot glue carefully around the rim of the bowl because we don't want that hot glue to ooze down the sides or down into the pumpkins. You see, I'm now just overturning it right in the center of the back side of the plate. Press down. You can also use a stronger adhesive in addition to the hot glue for a more permanent bond. And you see how pretty it looks. The theme of the pumpkins is carried right through to the pedestal base. And you see I have decorating on top a decorative candle. It was so easy to take one of the battery-powered candles. Dollar Tree sells them, but in this case, it's a Luminara that I had. And I'm using some ribbon, just outlining the base of the candle, hot gluing it on, and adding that sweet pumpkin embellishment from Totally Dazzled. This carries that charming pumpkin theme from the very top of the display all the way down to its pedestal base. While it looks so pretty with the lighted candle, especially creating a beautiful illumination in the evening light, You could also use the surface of the clear plate for food or any other display. Now I want to show you how easy it is to create some fun pumpkins using a box of the tumbling tower blocks from the Dollar Tree. You can get a box of these for $1.25, and I love working with these. Gorilla wood glue works really well to adhere them. And in this project, we're going to create groupings. The first groupings are going to have 7 blocks wide. We're going to make 3 of those 7 block wide groups. And then we're going to use the wood glue to adhere them. And I'll show you how easy that is to do. Now that you see I have 3 sets of blocks with 7 in each group, I'm going to use the wood glue to attach them. There's something so much fun about using these pretty little wood blocks. Each one has its own grain and coloration. They're really nicely made, and you get over 70 in each box for $1.25. So you can see I'm just smearing the wood glue on, and then I'm just attaching each one right against the other. And as I get each group done, we'll set those aside. I bought that metal straight edge, which actually has a right angle on the end, and it's very useful for keeping the blocks symmetrically attached. That way the lines are very straight. You can see how easy it is to press against that metal straight edge. I bought that for just a very few dollars at a Lowe's. And so I'd recommend that tool. It does make it easy to work with these blocks. So here we go. It's a very quick process. You just want to add glue and kind of sandwich them together. Do the same for each of the 3 sets. After you have your 3 sets of 7 blocks apiece, we're going to stack them, creating our first of the 3 pumpkins that we're going to make. The next set of 3 we're going to make will be just 1 block shorter. So I'm just wiping down my work surface, and I'm getting out some more of the blocks. We're going to make this group as 6 block wide sets. And I'm using the same process of just gluing them together in sets of 3. Again, 6 blocks wide. I'm using a wet paper towel, not only to keep my work surface clean, but also to wipe off any excess glue that oozes in between the blocks. After you finish your 3 sets of 6 blocks wide, we're going to go ahead and do just as we did with the larger group, and we're going to stack them on top of each other to create our middle pumpkin. And for our final 3rd smaller pumpkin, we're going to make another set of 3, but this time they're going to be 5 blocks wide, and we'll just go through the exact same process. And now that we have 3 cute little wooden pumpkins, we're going to go ahead and stack them from the largest up to the smallest. And then in between each, I'm going to add some of the Spanish moss just to give it a little bit of greenery and color. Now, what you could do is you could paint these 3 pumpkins. They could all be painted the same color, orange, for example, or they could be painted in different colors. I've seen them done in orange, green, and cream. But for this project, I decided to just leave them in their natural color because the grain is very pretty. I will plan to make another batch though, and I do want to see how nice they're going to look painted. So here I am just spreading some of the Spanish moss, and I'm going to just put a little bit of the wood glue down to hold it in place, and then we will secure our next pumpkin right on the middle there. There's so many fun ways you can use these. You could make them larger, of course, or if you wanted to, again, you could add more color, more detail, perhaps some little flowers. I'm going to actually add a stem made out of a stick that I found on one of my walks. I'm also going to add some pretty ribbon that I bought at Dollar Tree, and I'm going to tuck in a small flower. These small wooden blocks are so versatile. Here you see the little pumpkin looks pretty in this little grouping that I made on my counter. I've made towel bars with these blocks, and people have whole shows dedicated to using them. They're a lot of fun if you like playing with wood blocks. It kind of takes you back to your childhood. Here is a picture in this image of a nightlight that I made using a Dollar Tree nightlight and a window cling. I'm going to show you just how quick and easy it is to do that. This one is one of the Dollar Tree $1.25 nightlights, and I'm going to use one of the leftover window clings from this project I had made recently on a previous show. I'm going to go ahead and use a portion of this wheelbarrow image just to capture that group of flowers. And you see how pretty it looks. No glue is necessary as the window cling adheres right to the form of the glass. My name is Lisa. I would love to hear your comments in the comments section below. And if you haven't already subscribed, I invite you to do so. I have so much planned for the upcoming fall and Christmas seasons. My husband was right when he told me the pumpkins would look better painted. Here is another project I made last fall, and it's described on my channel on my playlist for fall projects. This is another vase that I decorated, and you can just see how easily you can create cheerful fall vignettes for your home for very little money and in fun ways. Take care, and God bless.